Salam fam, Mr. Wiseman on the wall. Listen, I was talking about Christ being a nationalist in the last video. The Messiah, Yahusha, was, still is a nationalist. The Most High Father is a nationalist. As I stated in Deuteronomy chapter 14, it says, I have lifted, exalted you above all nations. The scripture says that we are the apple of his eye, that he will not forget us. We will continue to always be a nation before the Most High, right? But because of the institutionalized mind of Christianity and these false teachings, they have indoctrinated us with the idea of replacement theology, saying that, oh, the church and Christians replace the Israelites and they can take on all those promises because they misconstrue the scriptures that Paul was writing, right? But it's very funny to me because in Isaiah chapter 14, and this is why they don't want us reading the Old Testament. They always say, we saved by grace through faith. Saved by grace through faith, brother. You ain't got to worry about them laws, brother. Don't read. You don't really got to read them Old Testament prophets and laws. That stuff doesn't apply to us now because we living in the New Testament. That's the deception that they teach us. But that came from the early church fathers, which were the Europeans who stole the original religion of the ancient Israelites, who happened to be Negroes, the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, the Bantu Negroes who are living on the continent of Africa, and wherever else they had scattered us to the four corners as it was prophesied. But check it. Isaiah 14, chapter 2, says that we, in those end times, these last days, once the Most High joins us back together again. And that's how you know that the people who claim to be Israelites are not, because they only can identify Levi, Judah, and Benjamin. But the scripture said that we will be joined all back together, all 12 tribes. But they don't know where the rest of them is at. So that's how you know they lying, because Ezekiel 37, that didn't come to pass with them. They lied about that 1948 stuff. That was all constructed by the British. All you got to find out was read the Balfour Declaration and all of that stuff. These people are liars, right? But they have a problem with us being superior. That's the problem. That's why they tell us not to read the Old Testament, because they know the promises that are going to come to us. Isaiah 14, chapter 2 says that we will take captive those who took us captive, and they will serve us as bondmaids and handmaids. They don't understand that the prophecies state that they will be in slavery for what they did to us, as stated in Revelation 18 as well. Revelation 18 explains clearly that because of what Babylon has done to the saints, the Israelites, that this is why you had to study these translations and what they were really saying before. They were going to receive a double portion of what they did to us. Now, the Most High allowed these things to take place in our lives because our ancestors disobeyed, and as promised and prophesied in Deuteronomy 28, we will go through all those curses, and we are the only people that can check off every little box that Deuteronomy 28 states. Not only that, Leviticus 26 and a whole bunch of other scriptures where the Most High said he would curse us for disobeying him and seeking after and prostituting with these false deities and gods and taking upon the way of the other nations. The Messiah is a nationalist. The Father is a nationalist. He has never forgot us. We are the apple of his eye, and he is going to save us and redeem us. That's why they don't want the narrative to come back to the truth. They want to continue in their narrative because they don't want to see the Negro on top. No matter where you live, every other race and group of people will surpass the Negro, as stated in Deuteronomy 28. No race wants to see the Negro rise above. That's why they are currently trying to take over the continent of Africa. The Russian, the Chinese, the Indians, the Arabs. All of these, as stated in Ezekiel 38, these nations will come together and make a confederacy to try to take away all of our resources, which is only happening in one place, in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. That's the true land of Canaan. That's our promised land. Salam, fam.